moments later.
Dad, Leah, keep on hitting the car. Dad. Yes. Leah, keep on hitting the car.
Jump too.
She got dry like that.
Yeah, she jump. Really don't want you to do that.
So what's the pedigree on this girl?
This is Rack It Up, bred to Heron daughter. And Heron is Ice Cream Man's little big brother, which is Una.
What's this girl pedigree?
This is Rack It Up, bred back to a Heron, King Heron daughter. And Heron is off of Unana, a Bogart Little May's sister, bred back to OJ, which is a Merle Giagi son. Yep, Giagi son.
And then Rack It Up, he 4 times bait.
Rack It Up, 4 times Bay, 4 times Versace.
Sure. That girl killing it right there.
Yeah, this special. Don't jump.
Dad, Leah hit the car.
So, Lily.
Yeah, you hit the car.
So I want to ask you a couple questions, man.
Sit there.
Okay. I want to ask you, how you feel about tails, short tails and full tails, man?
I prefer, as a breeder, I prefer full tail. However, a badass dog is a badass dog, regardless. If we got a short tail, long tail, I got dogs in my yard that's short tail, I got dogs in my yard that's long tail, I got dogs that's half tail. So, ultimately, it appears in this particular breed that the ones that has the kinks and short tails is the ones that's a little bit more sauced up, or the ones that took more of the sauce out of the litter. Just say of all, because sometimes I have a litter that got like, you know, a litter of 6, probably 4 of them have tails, and then there'd be a couple that don't. Traditionally, those been the ones in my, you know what I'm saying, experience that take a little bit more of the juice. You know the juice we talking about.
For sure. So a bull is a bull.
A bull is a bull, though. Whether they got a tail or not, don't make no difference. A bull is a bull.
So
anybody tell you different, don't know what the fuck they talking about.
For sure. I want to ask you this too, man. Do you think peds matter when you breeding?
Of course, peds matter. As a breeder, it would be foolish for me to say peds don't matter. Peds matter, but hold on, baby. But in this bully game, a lot of times the ped's not what it is, you know, not what it's presented to be. And the reason why peds matter because when they are genuine, you know how to put it together if you know what you're doing. So a lot of times now, a lot of us breeders, because these peds are so fucked up, you know, unless you did it yourself, we're going off phenotype a lot, you know. So you have what's called genotype, which is basically the ped, and then you got phenotype, which is how the dog look, how it presents. And a lot of times now, you know, we're going off a lot of times phenotype over genotype. But that don't mean that genotype doesn't have a place in breeding. It definitely does when it's correct. You know, when you know what it is.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever just bred to a dog just by seeing it? Like, just looking at a dog, like, not even looking at the pet, like, hey, I just like how this dog look. I'm breeding to this motherfucker.
No, never. I always ask what the pet is, too.
For sure,
You know,
for sure.
So even if I like his phenotype, I'm going to ask what the pet is and ask him how is he put together and who put him together.
Yeah.
Because if that particular breeder put it all together, then I can kind of trust it a little bit more. But if he done went out his yard a lot, then, you know, ain't no telling what done crept in there. It's not actually the pig. Because, you know, motherfuckers, they, you know, unscrupulous breeders, they hang papers and all kind of shit. It's just part of the game. It happens. Some of your best shit, some of your top dogs got hung papers to keep it hot with you. Some of the top breeders, that shit ain't what it say it is. You know,
For sure.
Put some shit in there, mix it in there, and then 100 papers.
Yeah, we seeing a lot of that in today's game. So, you know, it is what it is. You just gotta pick and choose.
It is what it is, but at the same time, to a certain degree, is moving the breed a little further, because you got to be a little bit of mad scientist to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a new breed. But for me, I just feel like this here. If the wheel has already been invented, don't be going to try and remake the wheel. You wasting time. They already did what they need to do. They didn't put the sauce in there. It's already in there. So what you look like going 3 steps back trying to put some sauce into all creating my own shit. Come on, man, stop it. You know what I'm saying? To really do that effectively, it's going to take you a few generations unless you just get lucky. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with any breed, to push it forward, you got to have a little bit of mad scientists in there.
Okay. I want to ask you about this. Give me a story about how you got started breeding dogs.
How I got started breeding dogs? I'm going to tell you where my love of dogs started with being in church with my mother. They used to have this thing called prayer requests. And I made an envelope. You know, you make an envelope, put it in the prayer box.
Yeah.
I made a little envelope out of paper, and I told them I wanted 2 pit bulls. One was Brindle.
Yeah.
One was Brindle. And, excuse me, one moment.
Yeah.
One was Brindle, and one was a buckskin. What we call buckskin back then, which they call tan the farm. Hold it right there. But, one was tan, one was buckskin, which we call tan now. So I asked for that, and you know, probably about a year later, I got that, and I was a little kid. And ever since then, I just had a love affair with dogs, and that was like that had to be early 80s when that happened. Then when I first started like really getting into dogs, like probably like 88, 89. But I took a break. Actually, in the 90s, I took a break from the dogs, and then got back into it in the 2000s.
Okay.
With the bullies.
Okay, I want to ask you this. Explain a breeder being kennel blind. Explain like being kennel blind.
Kennel blind, you know, you don't hear it that often anymore, but it's a real thing where a person will be so infatuated with what he has, whether he produced it or bought it, that he don't see the flaws in it. And as a result, see the flaws in your program or in your dog, you can't correct them. So we call that kennel blindness. And a guy keep getting bullshit, or he keep accumulating dogs that he's not fixing the problems, or he's not adding to his program. We call that kennel blindness too. So, I mean, it's a real thing, definitely a real thing. You know, some guys can't take healthy criticism too. So you can tell them, hey man, that's not it, or hey man, you need to do this, to do that, and they'll think you hating, you know, or something like that. But oftentimes, especially if it's coming from an OG, they just give it to you in the raw. Especially if you've been around this guy and you know what his likes is and his dislikes and what he tends to lean toward in this bully game, and you like it, you should take advice from him. But some cats can't. They think they really got that shit, and they really don't.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go off following from that. What makes a breeding program, like a breeding program? Somebody starting a program. What makes a program? So I'm gonna ask you this: what makes a breeding program a program? Like with breeding these dogs, what makes a program in your eyes?
Well, you get these dogs, and I mean, every dog is a tool. Every dog is a tool. Some tools better than others. So when you got a breeding program, you have a bitch, a foundational bitch, and you take her to, whether it's your male, which you have a badass male, or a male that's to your liking with respects to his genotype and phenotype, or you go outside your yard. But a breeder program starts ultimately with a foundational bitch. It ain't no way around it, you know. You got to have a bad bitch.
Yeah.
To have a breeding program. Otherwise, if you just got a male, you just studying him out. You know, Some people do pup-backs, but that ain't really a breeding program. Breeding program is when you got a foundational bitch or a few foundational bitches, and you can put them to males, substantial males, and you producing some nice dogs, quality dogs.
For sure.
And the
Well,
market will dictate that
for
to a
sure.
certain degree.
Well, I want to ask you this since we rolled into that. How do you feel about pup-backs?
Don't like them. Don't like them.
Yeah.
And the reason why I don't like them is because, you know, a lot of these guys in this bully gang now is unscrupulous. They're untrustworthy.
Yeah.
They selfish. They think about me. You know, if you can't trust a guy to give you, see when you doing what they want you to do, you know,
It's all good.
It's all good. But when it's time to pay the piper, that's when, you know, they get more moves than Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
you know
get haywire.
All kind of bullshit get in the game. And to prevent that, you know, and to prevent getting on some street shit over some dogs, I just rather not do it, fam. Because I ain't gonna let a motherfucker take nothing from me.
For sure.
I'm just not, and I don't expect nobody else to let them motherfucker take nothing from me.
Yeah.
And to keep the bullshit down, I really don't like doing pup-back. Unless I really trust you and you got a bad bitch. But I got to trust you.
For sure. For sure. And who is this right here?
This is Rack It Up Son. This is Rack It Up Son off of inbred Bogart daughter. Bogart bred back his little mate, sister Unana, which is Ice Cream Man, their mother. And I took it and ran it to Rack It Up.
Ooh,
So
wee.
Rack It Up on top, inbred Bogart on bottom.
Man, I've seen some of these pups. They all damn near look the same, man. You got some hard decisions to make with these.
I know, right? They're throwing a pretty much consistent look.
And boy, Rack It Up really throwing it, man.
Look at that side shot. Look at that top line on that motherfucker, though.
Look at it. Move your hands so I can see them arms. Yeah. Look at that. Some hard decisions to make, man. And you know, sometimes them hard decisions is the best, man.
Look, they 3 months old, and I still, then at 3 months old, I still ain't picked my puppies yet. Partially because I'm lazy, and partially because it's a tough pick.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd rather wait and make the best decision for the camp than to, you know, rush and give away a major piece. I think all of them gonna be nice, but they're so consistent. The little's so consistent that it's difficult.
Everybody keep asking me, man, what's going on with your dog show?
I was looking for an inside venue because the city stopped fucking with me. You know, just out of hate, man. Start doing a little weird shit. So, but now we have a spot that we're looking at in Menominee Falls. So we're gonna lock that spot down, and then we'll be back on and popping.
For sure, for sure. Also, when you breed, are you looking to create the smallest dog? And what do you think about a breeder saying, I got the smallest this dog, the smallest that dog, or this, that, another?
Look, I don't give a fuck about none of that. This dog right here, even though he's small for 3 months, that other one I just brought out, the first one, was smaller.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to pick between these two. I might wind up keeping both of them. Even though he's a bigger looking puppy, he's small for his age, but he's a bigger looking puppy compared to the other one. I'm not, the smaller shit don't, I mean, it impresses me if it's well put together, but I just, you know, as long as it's micro, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't like no big ass dog. As long as it's micro, I'm good.
For sure, for sure. How you feel about like the state of the bully game and like a lot of breeders leaving the dog game right now?
Good. Get your ass up out of here. See ya. Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. This shit is what's the word I'm looking for? It's overran with bullshit breeders anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody getting there thinking it's a get rich quick scheme. They think it's a get rich quick scheme, and it's not. You know, it's a lot of hard work and dedication, man. This shit is work. This shit more work than working a job.
For sure, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? If you do it right. So I mean, you need to cut the weeds out. So I agree totally with them.
For
Godspeed.
sure. All right, y'all, we're going to take a break real quick because we're handling business up here. We'll be back in a few seconds. All right, I seen you post something saying don't compete with me, eat with me. Explain that a little more for me.
You would think. Look, this is a competitive sport.
For sure.
Without a doubt. So we acknowledge that. At the same time, that's only to a certain degree. Some people are a little bit more competitive than others. But when they get to the point where it becomes envious, that's different. I don't want to fuck with him because he think he this and he think he that. That man ain't saying shit to you.
Yeah.
You don't even know him
Yeah.
like that. You've never seen anything sideways from him. Or you taking something from a hating ass motherfucker about him, right?
Right.
So my thing is this here. I've tried to build this market here for a while because for years I never sold dogs locally. I have built up enough goodwill internationally and nationally where I sold dogs all over the country. And as a result, I really neglected the market here in the city because people would, you tell them what the price is and what you think you want for your dog.
They getting up out of there.
They're getting up out of there. Right? So for a while, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it nationally and internationally. My first sale was an international sale to Mexico.
Yeah.
So early on, I understood the market and knew that I could, because I did. So probably about 3-4 years ago, I said, let me try to build this market up here. That's when I started throwing dog shows here in the city to try to build the market so that we all can eat.
For sure.
Locally to a certain degree and get better dogs here. I envision us, whoever has that fire in the city, I envision us, coming around that person or that group and push it.
For sure.
We don't got that type of mentality here.
Yeah.
We'd rather support a motherfucker in Michigan and support a motherfucker in California than support somebody here locally. And I don't put myself in that mix because I'm not like that.
For sure.
I support the shit out of it. You know what I'm saying? And the hate bone in my body. And I don't understand it because I can't put myself in that person's shoes where he feel like, he hating on another motherfucker. Because I don't have a jealous bone in my body. None of that shit, fam. I want to see you win. I don't want to see you lose. I'd rather help you than hurt you. And I don't understand why a lot of people locally don't think that way. And you got some Asians too that's been in the game for a long time, fam. Some of them left and they came back now and they got different blood and things of that nature. They tend to stick to themselves. But we still, we move around with them. We still politic with them and network with them. But I'm mainly talking more about black folks here to a certain degree. There's so many of us in this dog game now locally, but we don't support each other at all. We rather compete with one another. And it's like to a certain degree, the competition get to the point of jealousy.
Yeah.
And that's not cool, fam. That's what I mean by you rather eat with a nigga than compete with a nigga.
Yeah.
It's so much we can do together. Hold on, baby. There's so much we can do together to push this market forward, to push this dog game market forward that we don't do in the city. We rather do it with somebody outside the city. And I just don't understand it. I honestly don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Everybody want to be number one. I don't even think about that shit, fam.
Yeah.
For real. On my kids, I don't think about that number one shit. I don't want to be number one. You can have the city. I'm going to support you. If you got that fire, I'm going to support you.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But that goes back to kennel blindness, too. There's some niggas here that don't have that fire but think they do.
Yeah.
And want to compete. Calm down, little homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Work with them, motherfucker, instead of working against. We could do way more.
Way more.
Way more.
Like I see guys online, on Instagram, like them boys in the South, them boys in Texas, they all supporting each other. They all using each other's studs. And not pup-backs. They come and spend money with them. They might give them a little discount or whatever, but they working them bloods, and each one of them, when they got puppies, they posting their puppies. They help posting their studs. They go to these shows. They get all on the stack table together, you know, and push each other dogs. So it's just like I feel you on that. Why we can't do that here, you know, and rally around each other or whoever got what, and everybody working the blood and moving forward.
You can't do it here because everybody wants to be number one. You see when BMO, you know, put out that list, right? And that's just his opinion. It's his opinion. Ain't nobody else put out a list for us.
Yeah.
BMO so happened to put out a list. Not that I totally agree with everything on the list. I don't. But I'm not going to knock it down.
Yeah.
And people say, well, because you was number one on that list. That's why you want. No. I don't give a fuck if I was number 30 on that list.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna knock it down because it's supporting the market here.
Yeah, the list. I think the list, you know, it opens some eyes. It puts some shine on the market here, you know, and what people had going on, like you said, whether number 1, number 2, number 10, number 30. I think it did shed some light on everything.
Yeah, and not to say, like I said, that I agree with every position on the list. Naturally, I don't, because I have my own opinions.
Yeah.
But because it was by a motherfucker from Milwaukee and for Milwaukee, I'm not gonna knock it like the way a lot of people did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that because I just think, and I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm finna say fuck the city, to be honest with you, fam, because it's getting like that. I just have to withdraw into my own demo, you know. But it's getting like that because a lot of these cats, they don't get it, fam. They can sit here, talk to you, you give them advice all day long, and then they gonna do some other shit.
Yeah.
And then say, well, he telling me that because he really don't want me to do better than him, so I'm gonna do the opposite because that's really what it is. If he say one thing, I'm gonna do the opposite. But you sit here, like my dogs, like my program, love it, talk all this shit, and then when I give you the advice you seeking, you think I'm trying to play? No. I don't get down like that, fam. And I'm not charging for this shit. I'm giving this game free.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, you done gave me a lot of free game, you know what I'm saying? And should I take heed to it? Like, at the end of the day, I look at it like this. You don't have to do everything I tell you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Take heed to it. You gonna make your own decision at the end of the day. But shit, I'm looking at a motherfucker that did this in the game. So if this man telling me, hey, you might want to go this direction. Like the other day, we ain't gonna speak on it, but you say, hey man, you might want to go this direction. You might want to do this. I just called it audible. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm gonna take your advice. You know what I mean? Hey, this shit might work out for me.
I think it'll work out way better for you because we're going off what the market dictates too.
For sure.
We're breeding for ourselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to look at what the market is dictating.
For sure. And I'll not just go stick myself in that corner and say, well, I'm just doing this, being stuck in my stubborn ways. Hey, you know, hey, we gonna try this out. And if this shit hit, it's a hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this about the term Nano. Yeah. What you feel about that?
I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, probably. You know, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, probably.
I ain't trying to have you ruffle no feathers, man. I just said,
I don't care.
You know, I just want to talk to you because, you know, a lot of people want to talk to you. They might not know how to approach you. A lot of people I want to give them an insight who you really are, so they can, you know, in case they not able to talk to you, now they can. So I might be asking some of the questions they might want to ask, and I'm here in depth to talk to you about that. So that, and also I hope they got their notepads out and taking notes about some of this stuff. This man has been here. This man has been in the game. This man has sold dogs to China. This man has sold dogs to Mexico internationally. He's been to California. He's been to some of the biggest dog shows around some of the biggest breeders. I've seen some of the biggest breeders come up to this man and talk to him. They give him nothing but respect. You know, I hope y'all just listen to some of the things he's talking about and not taking some of the things and turning it into negative. This is just a raw, uncut interview, and we just chopping it up because we want to bring this to you guys.
Now, back to the term Nano. Excuse me. just like with anything, Nano is a marketing term. That's
Okay.
where micro came out too. It was a marketing term. However, it develops.
We on the nano term.
Yeah, Nano, just like with anything, like micro, I should say, started off as a marketing term, right? However, for smaller dogs. However, micro, people started to formulate a standard for it, right? Same thing with exotic. People start formulating a standard for it. I haven't seen a standard for Nano yet. I know, I've been on the social media. I think his name is Kane. He has his own registry or something to that effect, and he's formulated what he calls a standard for Nano. I don't agree with his standard personally. Not to say that, it's not right in his mind. I just don't agree with it. Until somebody comes out with a standard for Nano that the community coalesces around and comes together in agreement on, it's just what it is, a marketing term. We call that shit small micro.
Yeah.
We call it small micro, that's what we always say, but maybe it's because, we've been in the game a little longer. So, like anything, it evolves. So now, this Nano stuff, people are starting to perfect these little shorter dogs to a certain degree. Not perfect, but they're starting to get better at it.
Yeah.
And they become a little bit more consistent. So maybe someone needs to come out and put a standard together for Nano that everybody could agree on. Because if you ask 10 different people, you're going to get 19 different standards for Nano right now.
For sure.
This person gonna say 10 inches under. This person gonna say 8 inches. I heard a motherfucker say 7 inches. Do you really know what a 7-inch dog look like? Come on, man.
Yeah,
So,
I seen you post that wicket on the
internet.
Yeah.
I told
That ruffles some feathers.
Yeah, I'm gonna start walking around with a wicket. You niggas talk about you got nanos and micros and you got motherfucking XLs.
Yeah.
You gonna walk around with that wicket. But that's all the good fun. Like I said, for me, as long as a dog is well put together, I don't give a fuck if it's a micro or nano or short dog. As long as it's short, well put together, I'm good with it,
For sure. I want to ask you this. I heard a story about you driving to California for a dog show. Can we talk about this story and what happened?
For which one?
To California, you talking about you was in a van. You had to take a van out there and you loaded up with the dogs, you and your wife. Oh,
yeah, because they was bullshitting with the rental. So I took one of my old vans and got in. I think that was it was in Fairfax, California.
So you drove from Milwaukee all the way out there?
Hell yeah, in one day.
Because you couldn't get a rental.
Because I couldn't get a rental. We had to, but that's the shit you do.
That's dog dedication.
That's dog dedication. I had some shit that people needed to see.
Yeah.
That's when I think I had produced them two Miyagi sons, Dundada and Pharaoh.
Okay.
I sold one to China and one to Taiwan, I believe. Well, both of them went to China. But, yeah, people need to see them, and that was a big show. It was a lot of international clientele there, a lot of people from China, from France, from all over. So it was a big show.
So it's some people that won't drive to Chicago, Indiana,
For sure.
Michigan, Georgia for a show. And this man has said he done drove all the way
In one day.
To California just to show his dog.
Yeah.
And it paid off.
But that's back when we was grinding. I only had, I think, one kid then.
Yeah.
But now with the shorties, one of my best productions. My best production. It's my best production right here. One of my best productions. It's difficult. So
Yeah.
I get out when I can. I like to go to mainly, nice big shows. But I hit a lot locally, a lot of small shows locally now.
Yeah.
But when it's a nice big show, I'll go. I come and get out there.
For sure. What's the perfect bull in your eyes?
Perfect bull. I would say to each his own, man. And like you said, in my eyes, which means my opinion, I just want a short, compact, muscled up, good top dome, defined jaw muscles, probably 1.5 to 2 finger muzzle. It's cool with me. I think the way that the game is going is more, which is a good thing, more away from the bulldog look and getting back to that small bully look, more bully, smaller.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Because you'll bag yourself in the corner and trying to put too much sauce in some shit, and you really don't need it. So now it's about, you know, and you know, I'm not a big Merle guy, but you know, we like the market dictates Merle to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I like tries more, chocolate tries, and I like tries. That's well put together.
For sure.
More bully than bulldog look, you know. It's a lot of dogs out there that's real nice that's starting to fit that mold. But also, I would say be careful because motherfuckers is cold with that Photoshop.
Yeah.
And, you know, they starting to learn from the Chinese how to Photoshop videos.
Yeah, yeah.
So you gotta be careful with that shit. And then too, I want to mention this because somebody mentioned it to me. They talking about China this and China that. For me, you don't get no points because you buy a dog from China. That shit don't, you know, that don't impress me. Some people may use it as a marketing tool, which is cool, and that's what you do. But I think for a lot of like breeders that's been in the game for a minute, a lot of us sold that shit to China.
For sure.
So we not impressed with, you know, that dog really got to stand out for us to be like, damn, they did that with that. Because a lot of that shit come from our blood anyway, you know. So I would say, I don't care if you buy a dog from Spain, from Russia, from China, whatever. It's not a flex if it come from America. That shit came from us. American Bully. That shit came from us.
Yeah.
So, no disrespect to the people that use it as a marketing tool, but some cats go overboard. Pipe down, homie. You know, pipe it down a tad bit. Just because it came from China don't mean that it's that shit. You know.
Yeah.
We got that shit over here too. We sold that to them.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. And what you think about this hairless bully?
The one saying this bought?
Yeah.
Like I said, the market gonna dictate whether it's a success or whether it's a failure. The market gonna dictate that. And saying, you know, been breed dog. You know what they're doing. Been breed dogs for years. Excellent program. He produced Blue Demon and them dogs back then. He consistently produced dogs, nice ass dogs. You know, the Toro brothers. You know, so he know what he doing. However, as far as me personally. I like a dog with hair, fam. Same way I prefer a dog with a tail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my preference. You know, it's a new thing, and we'll see what the market says. You know, we'll see what the market says. But like I said, I prefer a dog with hair.
Okay.
But shout out to Sang, you know.
For sure.
Shout out to him, you know, Cat been producing for a long time. So, you know, give him his flower, we respect that.
So have you ever thought about doing B&B franchises?
You know, I haven't, to be honest with you, because I don't even want a kennel partner. You know what I'm saying? I done been through so much bullshit, man. I don't even want a kennel partner. So a franchise, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's some shit I gotta think heavy about. And it ain't about the money for me, you know, it's about loyalty, man.
For
Loyalty
sure.
is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I really pride myself on that to a certain degree. Not saying I'm a perfect motherfucker. I'm not.
Right.
You know
Nobody
what I'm saying?
perfect.
Nobody perfect. I got my flaws. But as a principle, that shit means something to me. You know, and it's very difficult to have partners out here nowadays. That's why it's just me and my wife now. You know? Like I say, this shit'll fuck up relationships.
Yeah.
Whether it be partnerships, whether it be romantic relationships, or whatever. This shit will fuck it up if you don't properly nurture it or you don't make the proper moves with it. So sometimes I like to just keep shit separate. I don't even want a partner. My partner's my wife.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Stop with it. So yeah. So I wouldn't do franchise. I don't even think about it.
Okay, cool. So we'll talk about, let y'all see some of Rack It Up puppies, the consistency of those puppies. As y'all see, both of those puppies look damn near just alike. Tune them in with Rack It Up, man. Today, it's Pedigree again, and this the man who you contact for him. Give him your information, let them know what's up so they can tap in and check him out.
On Instagram is BNB_Mike D. And on Facebook is Mike D. Mike DEE. And Rack It Up, like I say, 4-time Bay, 4-time Busachi. He's put together well. These dogs you see in his phenotype. When you see him, you know that's baked blood. When you see him, you say, okay, that's Busachi. You can see it in him. Well put together dog. It was a dog named Level Up. I'm talking, baby. Calm down. It was a dog named Level Up that I bred to. Like I said, I had the stud with one of my guys. I bought the stud credit from that dog. I think Ryan Gilliam produced him, and I bought a stud credit to that dog when one of the cats down here purchased him from Ryan Gilliam. But I bought it for somebody else, and I told him just give me a puppy because the dog was 10 months old. So I said just give me a puppy, you know, and I paid for the stud credit. So I did that. We bred the dog. She didn't take. So then one guy, you know, that I gave the dog that had the stud credit, I got it for. He asked him did he want to reuse the stud credit again. He said the repeat. He said no. So I was like, okay, cool. What do I have to match up with this dog? And I had a direct bake daughter that I had with some devil spit blood on the bottom and bape on the top. So I ran that to him, and we produced Rack It Up. People really don't. I don't think they get it. Maybe I don't know if it's the pictures I'm taking or whatever. But when they see Rack It Up in person, they know, oh, this motherfucker is that.
Yeah.
You know. Then it looked like the motherfucker told me it looked like he drew him. You know, he looked fake. It looked like he drew him.
Yeah.
But he is that, and I, like I said, I'm a humble guy. I come from an era where we was humble. You know what I'm saying? It's the dog over the owner's personality. So, not to toot my horn. If I tell you that dog is that dog is that. I'm not gonna get on the motherfucking internet or get on nothing and say some shit that ain't true, or say some shit out of kennel blindness. No, I'm gonna be very humble. Motherfuckers had to tell me early on because I try not to look at the puppies because I don't want to get kennel blinded. So people like, man, that motherfucker there, he it. And I'm like, yeah. I'm just keeping my eye on him a little bit longer. But the market, the community told me what he was before I said what he was.
For sure.
You know, and that right there, I'm honored. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all hear that? The community told him. He didn't say this the baddest dog here, this the baddest dog that, or this dog is this or this dog that. The community told him. When your peers tell you something about a dog or about your breeding, when they self-claim it to you, you can't just name yourself that or name your dog that. When your peers and other people that's breeding give you that, then that's the most respect you can get in the game.
Definitely.
For sure, man. I appreciate tapping in with you, man. We gonna do a part 2, y'all. We gonna be tuning in with them conversations with Mike D, y'all. Hope y'all got some game up out of here, man. Hey, you gotta hit him with your slogan before we get up out of here.
Stay producing. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm just talking about the way that this dog game is going. Like going back to what you said earlier, parting words. I'm glad a lot of you fuck niggas getting out of the game. Get the fuck on up out of here quicker. Make room for some real motherfuckers. Real talk.
Well, show. Let's get it. We out of here, y'all.
Don't